So now radio stands at a moment of transformation where AI can help strengthen its core mission, informing, educating, and entertaining at the same time by automating routine tasks like scheduling, voice tracking, weather and sports updates, and administrative workflows. Stations can free teams to focus on creativity and connection. While AI also supports deeper audience insights, more relevant advertising, personalized listening experiences, and the amplification of underrepresented voices. Well, with these tools now, that enhance fact checking, validation, and archival discovery, radio can deliver higher quality content and while maintaining human judgment at the center. So these innovations ultimately reinforce what matters most: listener trust. Okay, so between take for example, I'm gonna spring you to a little bit of something, right? Maybe if the producer allows for it, right? How would you like it if you have a human voice speak with you or an AI speak with you? Will the experience be the same thing? Will it be the same thing? Okay, you might want to keep that at the back of your mind because it might just be that conversation for the 10 o'clock hour. 10:25 precisely. All right, now let's get into some things that you ought to know this morning. It is very, very expedient to bring it to you. Now, River State Governor Siminalayi Fubara has disclosed the State Executive Council as part of measures to give his administration a fresh beginning. Now, the governor also appointed a new Chief Press Secretary, CPS, Onwoka Nzeshi, weeks after he secretly laid off the former CPS Nelson Chikudi. I see. Now, the Ukraine Defense Intelligence UDI has identified two Nigerian men, Hamzat Kazim Kolawole and Mba Stephen Udoka, killed while fighting as Russian mercenaries. The development comes after Russia denied knowledge of Nigerians being recruited to fight on the front lines. Take a deep breath and let's continue. Now, former President Goodluck Jonathan has urged African nations to embrace a generational shift in governance, arguing that the continent needs leaders between the ages of 25 and 50 to effectively confront the demands of modern leadership. Speaking on the fiscal and mental demands of public office, Jonathan said governance requires extraordinary stamina, recalling the intense pressure he faced while serving as president. Says it requires extraordinary. It's not just the ordinary, but the extra. Put an extra to it. And then you will understand what the former President Goodluck Jonathan is actually saying. Now, the Nigerian National Petroleum Company, NNPCL, reported an after-tax profit of 5.760 trillion naira, equivalent to 4.26 billion US dollars for the 2025 financial year. The company disclosed the figures in its latest operational and financial updates, detailing performance across upstream, downstream, and gas operations. So NNPC is saying we got profits. You see that? Now, the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has proposed a total budget of 873.78 billion naira for the conduct of the 2027 general elections, with substantial allocations to election operations, technology, and capital expenditure. INEC Chairman Professor Joash Amoputa made a presentation before the Senate and House of Representatives Joint Committee on Thursday. What's the figure again? A whopping 873.78 billion naira for the conduct of the 2027 general elections. Okay, I see. Now, there was an attempt to arrest former governor of Kaduna State, Malam Nasir El-Rufai, at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja, on Thursday. Muyiwa Adekeye, media advisor to the former governor, disclosed this in a series of posts and videos on social media. He said El-Rufai was returning from Cairo, Egypt, when he was approached by security operatives. And if you also recall, on the front page of Nigerian newspapers yesterday, yesterday it was, El-Rufai was captured as saying, I might be arrested soon. Oh, they will arrest me. They will indeed arrest me. But this is also on the heels of the fact that an arrest notice was actually served to him while he was in Cairo, Cairo, Egypt. He was served, and his lawyers are saying it is very inappropriate. Well, as soon as he touched down Abuja in Nigeria, They try to grab him and whisk him, but he says, where's your warrant? Never knew that warrant works in this country. I mean, warrant works for only a few or for the most of Nigerians? I don't know. I mean, which of you in your local areas have been served a warrant before for arrest? Well, something, they just come and whisk you away. No warrants needed. But anyways, I guess I'll leave it there. But the presiding general of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Abubakar Malami, and two others are over alleged money laundering charges. Justice Obiora Egwatu has withdrawn from the case. Justice Egwatu on Thursday announced his decision to step aside from the two related cases, citing personal reasons and the interest of justice. Personal reasons, and because of the interest of justice, so that I'm not seen in any way culpable one way or the other, so that justice will prevail, I am leaving this case in peace. Well, they say no this and no peace, right? I think he chose his peace over whatever is going on with the former AGF and son. Well, Professor Abubakar Muhammad El Juma, Dean of the Faculty of Engineering and Technology at the Nigerian Army University, Biu, Borno State, has died while in the custody of Boko Haram militants after spending close to a year in captivity. Now, that is a professor. He was a dean of the Faculty of Engineering Technology. Which university? At the Nigerian Army University, Biu, Borno State. Now, he died while in the custody of Boko Haram militants after spending close to a year in captivity. I thought I should let you in on that one on a very, very calm note. So rest in peace. Now, the Naira on Thursday appreciated to 1,438 Naira to a dollar in the parallel markets from 1,447 Naira to a dollar on Wednesday, but the Naira depreciated to 1,355 Naira to a dollar in the Nigerian foreign exchange market, NFM. Finally, now reports emerge on Thursday about 7 power plants across Nigeria are being out. The Nigerian Independent System Operator has warned. Is raising fears that there's gonna be a lot of blackouts now. Yes? And you know, when blackouts like this happen, I'm not gonna be the harbinger of terrible news, but of course, bad things happen those times, most of the time. But it's sad. This is the reality. This is where we find ourselves. But let me push you into what the front page of Nigerian newspapers hold. Now, the Vanguard newspaper this morning, the big story on the front page, 50 years after Murtala Mohammed, my father treated corruption as emergency, not a talking point. Aisha Mohammed Oyebode is saying that right there. My bad. And our hero at home, Friday, February 13, 1976. How madman with guns went on rampage. Muhammad's tomb, not a sight to behold. Today's leaders are not selfless like my father. Riskua, Muhammad is saying. He was an incorruptible leader. All right, Ambassador Aminu Wali is saying that. And then cool speeches of Muhammad and Dimka. I see that. All right, you see a very full family now. I see Obasanjo right there. Quite a number of people. I see Amir Sanusi too right there. Quite a number of people to celebrate that man. Okay, now this one on page 34. Security agents attempt to arrest El Rufai at Abuja airport. Okay, page 7 now. Workers lay siege to NAFDAC office over sachet alcohol ban enforcement. Workers lay siege to NAFDAC office over sachet alcohol ban enforcement. Page 7 has got that one. What? Which workers? Which workers now? Which workers? You want to find out? Page 7 has got it for you. Page 9 now. Malami is the kicker. Judge recuses self. Returns case file to CJ for reassignment. I see. Okay, this one here now, it says, why we are tackling auto crashes in Lagos. Somebody's saying that. Go find out on page 10 of the Vanguard newspaper. Building an overhead bridge across the Vanguard newspaper banner now. Power outage looms amid scheduled power plant maintenance. Page 19. has got that. U.S. accuses Chinese miners of funding terrorists in Nigeria. Okay, and you see that one on page 6. China embassy debunks allegation, but that's going to be what we'll be talking about at the 9 o'clock hour. They took it right off my mouth, right? Let's go see how that's going to pan out, and what side of the divide will Nigeria stand? How will we handle this? Because a lot of diplomatic tension right now going on. ADC should consider Southerner for 2027 presidency. Amechi saying that, page 34 and page 5 still atop the Vanguard newspaper. INEC seeks a whopping 873 billion naira for 2027 polls. Proposes 171 billion naira 2026 budget. Oh, I see. Amazing. All right, now, I think that'll be all with the Vanguard newspaper. Now, let's get to the Nation newspaper. Now, the big story on the front page. Amuputan. INEC to spend 1.04 trillion naira on elections. Others. Amuputan is saying INEC is to spend 1.04 trillion naira on elections. Others has got two riders to it. Commission needs own network. Lawmakers approve bulk disbursement of cash. Can you beat that? All right, that story continues on what page now? Page 2 of the Nation newspaper. But just atop that big story, Fubara begins implementation of peace deal with EXCO dissolution. Page 3 has got that. Arrest drama on El Rufai's arrival at Abuja airport. Ex-governor's passport seized. All right, that story is continued on page 2. I take you to page 3 now. As you add 1 to 2, you get 3. Protests as NAFDAC refutes directive to lift ban on sachet alcohol. Protests as NAFDAC refutes directive to lift ban on sachet alcohol. Page 2 now. Court of Appeal reserves judgment in 9 consolidated PDP cases. All right. Now, banking sector to drive 7% Nigeria's GDP growth, says World Bank. So World Bank is saying 7% of our GDP growth is going to come from the banking sector. Are you surprised? I'm not. But continued on page 2 though. Just above the Nation newspaper, at top of it, the height of it, the peak of it, the apogee of it, the zenith of it, you name it. Otedola, Dangote's full production will shore up Naira's value. Otedola is saying that Dangote's full production will shore up Naira value. Page 3. So another page 3 now. United Nigeria boosts operation with 11 planes. U.S. routes. Okay. Saudi Arabia, UAE, Qatar to import grass from Nigeria. Page 7. Saudi Arabia, UAE, Qatar to import grass from Nigeria. Please, somebody tell me, what mineral resources do we not have? Now we even have plans to export? Wow. Oh, that feels good. First Lady converses greater unity among Nigerians, and that's on page 4 of the Nation newspaper. As I take you away from the Nation newspaper now, and I'm bringing you the Guardian newspaper, the big story on the front page 6 precisely, and this one says, National Assembly tightens grip on public finances amid 2027 election funding debate. All right, National Assembly tightens grip on public finances amid 2027 election funding debate. Page 6. And I see this one now. It says what? What does it say? Okay, I see it. It says Senate real-time results transmission does not translate to e-voting. Real-time results transmission does not translate to electronic voting. Page 6 is holding that one for you, though. And this one here now says, lack of transit facilities undermining Nigerian Airlines potential. Page 25 has got that story. Who is saying that? Go find out on page 25. And in case you're just tuning in, make sure to get to the new YouTube channel at Eagles TV Abuja, as well as the Facebook page wall at Eagles FM Abuja, and join the conversation right there. Leaving a comment in the comment section and sharing the post. Better still, just liking it will do. All right. And still with the daily now. 4,521 megawatts shortfall in nationwide power supply as gas facility undergoes repair. Page 7, it's got that story. Yeah, I see this one now. Murtala at 50 African leaders trade blames over continent's woes. Gerontocracy. All right, gerontocracy. All right, I see that, page 3. Now, I see this one here now, and it says OPEX. OPEX, that's what it is. Taxes take over 90% of NNPCL's 60.5 trillion naira 2025 revenue as Otedola predicts naira rebound. Page 3 has got that. All right, now to another page 3. We must outgrow disregard for rule of law, El Rufai says after attempted arrest. Still on page 3. And that sums it up for the Guardian newspapers. I bring to you the Nigerian Tribune newspaper now for today, Friday, 13 February 2026. The big story on the front page of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper now, Mina visit. Atiku faults Fayose. Mina visit. Atiku faults Fayose. Dismisses his claim as beer parlor tales of infamy. Wow. Page 3 has got that one now. Dangote refinery achievements could push naira below 1,000 naira to $1 before December. Otedola is saying that on page 7. All right, I see this one. NADDC launches service charter. DG calls for renewed commitments to local manufacturing, industrial self-reliance. Page 19. El Rufai will report to EFCC Monday. Council is saying that, and that is on page 5. Condemns attempt to arrest him at Abuja airport. So they seized this passport. So you're not going anywhere again. Stay here. But let's at least know that you are here, so that when we come for you, we will find you. Page 2 has got this story now. A U.S. religious freedom bill. Kwankwasia movement cries foul. All right. U.S. religious freedom bill. Kwankwasia movement cries foul. Page 2. Right. And now we see this one. Gunmen kidnap 12-year-old female student in Ibadan. Gunmen kidnap 12-year-old female student. 12-year-old female student in Ibadan. All right, page 2 has got that one. And I see this one. Africa can't sustain democracies without young leaders. Africa can't sustain democracies without young leaders. Jonathan is saying that on page 12, and it's got one rider to it now. Murtala's assassination forced Nigeria to rejig security architecture. Obasanjo is putting that out as a kicker. INEC seeks 873.78 billion naira for 2027 polls, and they say they'll be spending 1 trillion naira in expenditure to oversee and cover costs during the elections. Now, it's got one rider to it now. It says Commission doesn't have own network for e-transmission of results. Ahmed Putan is saying that. And youth corps members to get 127,000 naira wage for election duties. Can you beat that? Youth corps members will get 127,000 naira wage for election duties. I just hope that this 127,000 will indeed be 127,000. And why is it even 127,000 when we thought it should have been 130,000, right? Anyways, 127,000. We'll keep our fingers crossed. Now, on health now, unique AI-powered handset can predict epilepsy seizures. Researchers are saying unique AI-powered handset can predict epilepsy seizures. Researchers are saying that on page 12. And I will take a dive into the Punch newspaper this morning. In case you're just tuning in, this is Eagles Morning Rises Breakfast Show, and this is the pace you like to call it, the newspaper review segment of the Eagles Morning Rise Breakfast Show. All right, the big story with the Punch newspaper: National Assembly to harmonize electoral bill Monday. Page 2 has got that one, and it's got 2 riders to it. Senate's reps versions of bill face final reconciliation. Second rider: real-time results transmission not same as e-voting, says Senate. All right, that's on page 2, the biggest story on the Punch newspaper front page. And I take you to page 10. Vandalism causing flooding on Lagos-Calabar Highway. Umahi is saying that vandalism causing flooding on Lagos-Calabar Highway. Page 10, it's got that one here. Blackout fears grow over gas plant maintenance. Blackout fears grow over gas plant maintenance. All right, page 23 has got that one. At the base of the Punch newspaper front page, we find this one on page 42. Fubara fires commissioners. Assembly awaits new list. All right, page 4 now. Police hunt abductors of 12-year-old Oyo school girl. Page 42 here. El Rufai spots controversy after airport arrest drama. All right. Just to the side of the Punch newspaper banner now. U.S. sanctions. China pushes back as federal government targets foreign illegal miners. Page 2. It's got that story. Who's Nigeria going to listen to? China or the United States of America? Okay. We are indeed at a crossroads, if you like. But just atop the Punch newspaper banner now, the heights, the peak, the apogee, the zenith of it now, the very top of it, I'm talking building a flyover bridge across it. You see this one now. Jonathan floats 50-year age cap for African president. Jonathan floats 50-year age cap for African president. Page 7. It says, as an African president, anywhere in Africa, you should be at least 25 to 50. So you can walk strong, stand strong, so you don't fall, you don't sway. Your standing strong and firm is telling your people that, look, hey, I got this. I got you. Don't worry. Well, these are not my words. Jonathan said. I'm just amplifying it. Right, page 10 now. INEC seeks nearly 1 trillion naira for 2027 elections. INEC seeks nearly 1 trillion naira for 2027 elections. 2027 is the kicker now. Atiku Fayose clash over Makinde's Mina visit. Page 7. It's got that story. Okay. Now, I'm just going to head out now. Go on a timeout. I'll be right back in a short bit. Don't go away.